Oh, come on.
Larry is a big fan of the Jeff and Jenn Morning Show, and he reached out to us looking for a second date update with a woman named Kate. So let's say hi to Larry, guys. Larry, welcome to the Jeff and Jenn Morning Show.
Jeff and Jen, good morning. Thank you for having me on.
Good morning.
Happy to have you. So let's start from the beginning. How did you meet Kate, and how'd that first date go?
So I met her through a friend at work. I was introduced at a work happy hour party. She was meeting up with a friend who works for me. Kind of awkward considering I'm her friend's boss, but we're pretty casual and friendly workplace, so I didn't anticipate any issues with it. So I took her out to a nice dinner at the precinct, and I thought everything went really well. Great conversation. She's very attractive, and she was definitely flirting with me. So, I could tell that there was some chemistry there. And I thought she made it very clear what she was looking for in a relationship, and I'm pretty confident that I could provide her with all of those things. I mean, honesty, transparency, security. It felt like a really good match. So towards the end of the night, I drove her home after about a 3-hour dinner, gave her a hug at the door, and that was it. I mean, I really felt like I'd be seeing her again, but she's not returning my calls, and I just don't get it. And I can't say anything to my employee because it's just going to make it even weirder. And so that's why I'm calling you guys today.
Right. And just to recap, you said she was a friend of your employees?
Friend of my employee, yes.
Okay. And she came to the work happy hour. That's where you met her.
Exactly.
Okay. And you're surprised by this. You're surprised by the fact that you haven't heard from her because it seemed like all of your values were in alignment and that she was flirting with you and that you definitely had chemistry.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there just never seemed to be like a lack in conversation. I feel like you could just tell sometimes, like with the way energy is being shared and all that, but there never seemed to be a point where we weren't having a good time. At least on my end, that's how I felt. So It's just strange and bizarre, and that's why I'm seeking your help today.
And you feel that carried through all the way to the very end. You said you drove her home and you shared a hug at her door, and you felt like right up until that very last second that the vibe was still really good between you two?
Absolutely. And listen, I'm not the type of guy that likes to rush anything intimately. So it's maybe she wanted me to make a move and I didn't. I don't know. It's that's not what's important to me. It's the connection is what's important. And I really felt like the connection was there.
Right. All right. What about you guys? Have any questions?
I don't think so. Sounds ideal.
Yeah, that was well laid out, short, sweet. So, Larry, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to call Kate and see what she thought of you and your date with her. Coming up next with Jeff and Jen here at Cincinnati's Q102. Larry met Kate at a work function. She doesn't work for the same company, but she is a friend of an employee of his, and they ended up going out to the precinct, I guess, and had a fantastic time. Great conversation. She's very attractive. Seemed to be flirty with him most of the night. Great chemistry. They seem to kind of want the same things out of a relationship, so that's a big plus. You had this nice dinner. It lasted about 3 hours, so she didn't seem like she was in any hurry to leave. He ultimately drove her home. They shared a hug at the door, and here we are. He hasn't heard a word from her since. And that's kind of what Second Date Update is all about. You go on this great date. You think everything is fine. You're going to see each other again, and then they ghost you. That's what's happening here. And Larry can't figure out what it could possibly be. So unless we missed any important details, Larry, unless you've thought of something else that you want to add to the conversation, we're just going to go ahead and call her.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Kate. It's Jeff and Jen at Q102. How are you?
Q102.
Yeah. I got
Good
Jen
morning, good
here,
morning.
Fritch, and
Good
Tim. The whole
morning.
gang is here.
Morning.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing
Great.
good. Is this a bad time?
No, this isn't a spam call, is it?
Is this what'd she say?
A spam call.
No, this is not a spam call.
Okay, I'm well. How are you?
Not bad. Would you have a moment to come on the radio with us, though? We do have to ask you that.
Sure.
Okay. We're calling because a fan of yours reached out to us. Evidently, you met at a work happy hour, and ultimately had dinner together at the precinct shortly after. His name is Larry, and he was very impressed with you and is bummed out that he hasn't heard from you since that date. And we were wondering what's going on there. Did Larry say or do something wrong?
Oh, well, this is awkward. So my best friend works for him. He's her boss.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't want to make anything weird for her, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's ask him. You know, he's on the other line. Let's ask him if are you cool with her talking about this on the radio, and can you assure her that no harm will come to her friend that you employ?
Yeah, no, there's no problem on my end. I mean, I assure you that her friend will be fine.
All right.
Okay.
There's your permission.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, Larry, well, okay, I've been on several dates before, of course, but this was the first. At the end of the date, he gave me like a one-page resume or portfolio or dating vita. I don't know what it was, but it was like this typed up thing that had all of his information on there. It had his name, birthday, it had his weight and height, and I've never experienced this. It had his skills, including his bedroom skills.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Life and family goals. It even had his like financial information.
Was there an objective?
There's not an objective. It was just like a one page, like, this is me.
Any references or?
So this is like a one sheet.
I like it.
Did it come with a headshot?
It did not come with a headshot, but it felt like that he was applying for a job or something.
I love that he listed under his skills, including ones in the bedroom.
Yeah, I mean, some of those did sound pretty intriguing.
Were there bullet points?
Yeah, I can see here on page 2 that you're into this.
That would be one thing, like, if I was, like, shopping online for somebody, if you will.
Yeah.
But when he gave it to me and he said before he kissed me, he wanted me to know who I'd be kissing. So he gave it to me, like, at the end of the night so I could review it. It just seemed, I didn't know what to do with all of it. It was kind of overwhelming.
Well, what did you do? Did you take it home and review it?
I did. It was just really strange. It was so formal.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the day was really relaxed. And, you know, I felt like there was a connection. And he seemed really cool. And he seemed into me. And he was very receptive to the things I was saying.
Good. And aside from how unusual it was to be given this one sheet dating resume, I guess, was there anything that you gleaned from that resume that was a turnoff to you other than just that itself?
Honestly, yeah, it was just that. Like, is he going to make me sign a contract next time? You know, it just felt like so formal.
I mean, you know, the thing is that I just wanted you to know who I was. Like, I wanted it all out there. You know, now you have a nice print up, laminated, might I add. If there's something you forgot or we didn't cover over dinner, you know, it's there. I mean, I personally think it's clever, it's informative, and it's creative. And as a boss, I think we ask for far more information in a first job interview than we do on a first date. And I think that's crazy. So I'm just trying to do my part to change that.
Oh.
That's kind of a good answer.
I kind of like that it's right in front of you, because if there's a deal breaker or something, you know, like, okay, well, it was great to meet you. Thanks for dinner, but I don't like section 4. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, this whole hobby is just not going to fly in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see where he's coming from on that.
So, Kate,
But-
you have no interest in creating a one sheet of your own.
No, is that required?
No.
I mean, no, I don't. Nothing's required. There are no rules. In fact, Larry, I would even take it one step further and encourage you to consider a headshot to go along with
There
it.
you go.
Like right when you wake up. so we know what you look like in the morning
There you go.
and not put together.
And then maybe like a nice done up before dinner shot too. Just
Yeah.
There you go.
A portfolio for sure.
Let's take a
Yes.
Polaroid. Here's a little token of our evening together for you to remember me by.
I think we need to give this one another shot. But
Well,
that's
up to Kate. Kate, we're going to leave it up
is.
to you. Any chance you'd be willing to consider going out with Larry again? We, of course, would pay for everything.
I don't know. It felt like kind of like not a red flag, but just like it didn't feel organic. It didn't feel natural.
Yeah.
I see what
Yeah.
Were there other things that happened on the date?
No, there wasn't. It seems so awkward because why can't you just tell me these things? Like,
Yeah.
I don't really care what his weight is. And like, I could tell kind of how tall he was, of course, by being with him. So it just felt weird to add that level of formality. You guys think that this is something that is just...
Oh, that's up to you. That's up to you.
I mean, if it's not your style, it's not your style. We don't want to talk you into it. If you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. I just thought it was kind of cool and different. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, it is different, and I'll give him props for that. And, like, obviously he's got goals that he wants to be in a relationship, which is awesome because I do too. Larry, are you, like, so rigid and structured, like, all the time, or is this just, like, you just wanted to be fully known?
I just wanted to be fully known, but like I could certainly adjust my my game to not have such a not to overwhelm you with information like that, because at the end of the day, like I really liked you, and I don't want to let something so silly like this affect what could be a
love connection,
healthy relationship. So I'm willing to adjust my my obsessions a little bit with my resume game, and just take you out on another date if I can.
If there's a feedback form after the date number 2, you call us back.
Yes.
Are they going to go back out?
I would like to.
We're clear on that, Larry.
Yeah, hearing your voice, Larry, and like really connecting with you again on a personal level does make me want to see you again.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Yay.
Okay.
That took a good turn.
Maybe you need to hand out the resume at the beginning of the date and then allow time for her to review it, as opposed to leaving her with that thought at the end.
There you go.
Maybe I'll add a cover letter too, just so I can get more.
No
the
D
extra
pics.
All right. Larry, we'll set it up with you. Kate, thank you for taking the call and for coming on the Jeff and Jen Morning Show. Stay in touch with us. Let us know how it goes.
Okay.
And you take it easy.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
Good luck, guys.
All right. If we can ever do a second date update for you, shoot us.